Hey Geminis, this is Zahara Stars with Illum Astrology giving you your March 2018 astro weather forecast. And wow, March is a very crazy yet cool month, okay? I'm going to explain, don't worry. It's a little crazy because planets are going retrograde. When Mercury goes retrograde, it gets a little wacky. Jupiter's going retrograde first, which is going to happen on the 8th. And there's going to be a lot of revisiting, going back, almost like moving, like rewinding a bit. And this is awesome because anytime planets go retrograde, we are able to revisit situations and then change them or hopefully make them have a better outcome. Now, there's not, this doesn't apply to every situation. However, with Mercury, it's all about communication. It's all about technology. You guys rule the third house, which Mercury rules. You guys are really highly communicative, highly intelligent, whip smart. And when Mercury turns retrograde, yes, of course, there's technological errors that can occur in the beginning when it first turns retrograde on the 22nd. But it's going to bring back people, situations. Yes, everybody wants to know about ex-lovers. Yes, during Mercury retrograde, that is the most likely time an ex-lover will contact you or reach out to you. But does it apply for everyone? No, it doesn't, because some situations are irreparable. Not to say that they are, but if the person, what happens when Mercury turns retrograde is that everybody's introspective and we start rehashing, rethinking things and realizing stuff. And sometimes it's about an old relationship and you say, I shouldn't have done this, or I should have done this. And that's what all the retrogrades are about going back, revisiting, seeing if there's something there. If not, move on, or going back and fixing it. So that goes for everything. That's for technology. If you've been working with a computer that's been getting stuck all the time, or your phone's been freezing, or things have been happening, it's now time to get those things fixed because we need efficiency. We got to be efficient. And that's what Mercury retrograde is about. So it's about going back and fixing things that were broken. Sometimes things do break. It's Murphy's Law. If it was going to break, it likely will during Mercury retrograde. But it's all about rehashing, going back. And for those of you that are thinking about starting a new business or something, this is a good time to start setting up plans to do so. Any internet companies, technology companies, communication, service-oriented, any of that stuff, we will start to want to implement those because we are introspective. We are thinking about things deeper. And for those of you that already established a website or already are in business for yourself, you'll go back and make changes and edit and make things better and improve them. It's all about improving our lives, improving our situations, improving our relationships, getting a second chance. Now, before this, I jumped a little bit too far ahead. Jupiter is going to turn retrograde on the 8th. And Jupiter is all about abundance and luck, and it's where we will find increases and expansion in our lives. And it's been going on in your 6th house, okay? And this is all about health, fitness, routine, perfecting, all those things. It's the house of Virgo. So Jupiter there, some of you have changed your diet, been working out. Some of you have found a new way to do things more efficiently. It also has to do with your work environment. So usually getting along with people at work happens as a result of Jupiter there. Maybe even joining a new team where there's more people that you're working with. Remember, Jupiter expands. You can burn calories really fast if you start a workout regime during Jupiter's transit there. So when he turns retrograde, you'll be reviewing these areas again. You'll be going back and saying, you know what, maybe I could do this better. Maybe I could implement this new idea. Maybe I can change my diet to this new diet. Maybe I'll start working out at this time. Whatever, it's all about the 6th house stuff. That all is about health, fitness, and organization, neatness, perfectionism, those types of things. So Jupiter turning retrograde, you will be reviewing all those things. You'll be coming up with new ways of doing things. And it's going to be a very beneficial time in those areas. Now, Mars has been transiting your 7th house of relationships. So all last month, and it's going to be making its transition into Capricorn, which is going to occupy your 8th house of other people's resources, sex, taxes, debt, banks, institutions, all those money, credit cards, stuff like that. So although last month and even the first week of this month, you've probably been very active socially with your groups and with your friends. Maybe your friends needed more of your time. Maybe you've put more effort of your time into this area as well. Our relationships, close relationships and partnerships. Now, of course, Mars is just pure energy, so it can point to combat. It can point to people being more aggressive in this area. So his move into Capricorn is going to slow things down and make them more pragmatic. We're going to be able to work hard, stay focused, determination, and all of that. But that's in your 8th house of other people's money. So some of you that are owed money, you might actually actively go after it because, again, Mars is that Martian warrior energy. Just do it. It's the planet that rules over Aries, which is all about just doing it and taking action. So when it comes to other people's resources, money's owed to you, maybe even putting effort and energy into restructuring your finances, trying to get lower credit card interest rates or applying for a loan, or all these things will be activated. It also is a hot time for sexual liaisons and relationships. You will be looking at, if you're already involved with a partner, this is a highly sexual time. It can be a very passionate time, but the 8th house always involves some sort of drama too, or it can because of the passions are flaring so high. But there's a lot of effort that's going to be put into this house starting after the first week of March, and then from the second week all the way through the first week of April. Now, you've been having, you have Saturn and Pluto both in this house. And this is about restructuring this area too. A lot of you might be having some sudden, all of a sudden, heavy demands put on you. It's all about taxes. Have you kept up with it? Are you up to date? Are you handling your finances correctly? Some of you can start cutting back on the amount you spend, being wiser with your money, being more cautious with your money. That's what Saturn is about, restructuring, but he's also about blockages and karma. So you want to keep this area right. You want to keep things in this area right. You want to make sure that you pay your bills on time. You want to make sure that you manage your finances good, because it's also the house of other partners or your partner. So if you've been in a relationship or if you're married, sometimes Saturn can restrict that partner's income. It can make it so that way you become more responsible. That way you take on more burdens, because Saturn can be burdens too. It all depends. And some of you might not even be feeling this yet. It depends on what degree your sun sign is at, but Saturn is moving into your 8th house, and then you will start to begin to feel these effects. It's over a 2.5 year period where the resources of other people's can be blocked. Okay, and this means that you got to put in the work and restructure your finances, because things can come out of the blue. Saturn tests the strength of that house. So when it comes to resources of other people, your partner's money and whatnot, and sex, it's going to be taken seriously. And, some people want more control in that area. Some people want less control. Some people want to get married and have a committed relationship. If you were a player, Saturn here can make you want to settle down. Personally, I got married when Saturn was transiting my 8th house, but I have them there natally, so I don't know. But I know that a lot of people that were going through Saturn transiting in the 8th house, it's a trying time. It's all about finances and sticky situations with other people, control issues with other people. Sometimes you can have a very disappointing experience that wakes you up to reality. But it's testing other people's support for you and to you. So Saturn is all about what's real and what's not. He tests the strength of it. So you can just look at tests in this area, but otherwise it shouldn't be too alarming. I just know a lot of people that get burdened with a lot more responsibility, end up very busy. If you haven't been keeping up with your taxes or keeping your finances straight, then be careful with that. But you do have Pluto kind of balancing this out, and Pluto is all about wealth and success and big money opportunities and all that stuff. So you do have this going on, which can be very helpful to balance some of this out. So last month you had a good month with career because you had Venus transiting your 10th house. And on the 6, Mercury and both Venus will be moving into your 11th house of friends. So this is a highly social time. This is when you're invited out with friends. This is when you spend more time with friends. This is when your friends are beneficial to you and they can help you. It also has to do with groups and associations and affiliations and philanthropic things. You can join a new group. You can, start a new fundraiser. You can do something of that sort. But it's really a very social time. And since it's in Aries, it's all about getting out there, being active, being bold. So I see it being a very social month for you guys in terms of expanding your networks, meeting new friends, improving the friendships that you currently have. And all of that. Now, March is a blue moon month, meaning there's 2 full moons, one on the 1st in Virgo and one on the 31st in Libra. And so this is going to be your 4th house, Virgo, the full moon that's going to be in Virgo is going to be in your 3rd house, which is about communication, about the way that you put information out, how you communicate, technology, all that stuff. Having a full moon there gives you illumination. And this means that you can discover something, a new way of doing something, an idea can pop up and you can suddenly put that into implementation. And then the following new moon that's going to occur, full moon, full moon in Libra that's going to occur in your 4th house of home is going to bring up situations in that area, illuminations, ideas, things that you want to do, like spend more time with family. I think I want to spend more time with my family, or I want to redo my house, or I want to add new furniture, or I want to do stuff like that. It's all about that. Also reminiscing about childhood, early childhood experiences, stuff like that, that give you insights into situations, okay? Now there's also going to be a new moon which is going to be in Pisces, which is going to be in your 10th house of career. So something new is going to start there, okay? There's going to be a lot of focus on work when the new moon occurs, which is going to be on the 17th. On the 17th of March, there's going to be a new moon in Pisces highlighting your 10th house of career, which is going to basically open up a lot of doors. Some of you could change jobs, some, it's not always that way. It's like an ending and a beginning, maybe an ending of an old idea or an ending of an old way of doing something at work. Some of you might start a new side project. Some of you might open a new business. Some of you can get a promotion. There's just a lot that can happen with a new moon. It's new energy, but really what's going to happen is there's going to be a new focus put into your career. So you're going to realize some things about career. If you're not happy, you might make a change. If you're happy and you're doing well, you can get promoted. If you're, there's just a lot of different things that are going to happen, but really it's going to be a lot of energy put into that, and your focus will be in career after that new moon on the 17th. So usually new moons always bring in new energy, new opportunity, but there are endings too. And it doesn't have to be an ending like I got fired from my job or, that. It can be if you're not doing a good job. It's all about what we give and what we get, And so with the new moon, you can look at, a lot of different things occurring within the career front. Also, it's a social house because it's a public house. So again, I see a lot of social activity happening for you guys. A lot of good social activity, enjoyment with friends, good times. And then when Mercury turns retrograde and Jupiter turns retrograde, Mercury is going to turn retrograde in your 11th house of friends. So that's going to be, you can get in contact with friends you haven't heard from in a while. It's an opportunity to reconnect with friends that you lost touch with. Or if you had a falling out with a friend, they can come back and contact you. You can call them. It's all about trying to repair and fix and make better the future. So it's like a rewind in time. Like, hey, I think I messed up with this person. I'd like to contact them and try to fix the situation. Same thing goes for exes, ex-partners, ex-lovers, ex-friends, ex-bosses, ex-job opportunities. Old past stuff is going to come back. And this applies for everything. Does this mean that your ex-partner is going to contact you? There's no guarantee, but it is the most likely time that one does, is during Mercury retrograde periods, along with Venus retrograde. And usually most of the retrogrades, because it's all about going back and and revisiting that area, revisiting that person, seeing if it's really there, if there was something really there. If not, you'll move on. If there was, then you can reconnect. It's just not a good time to start anything new because it is all about revisiting and renovating and going back and fixing and all that stuff. So if you're in business for yourself and you have a website, you can go back and, re-edit that, fix things, spruce it up, make it better, because we are internalizing. We are thinking things through. And so when we do that, we tend to want to make changes. Now, Mercury is associated with complications with technology and messages getting, mixed up and things happening. Again, it's karmic times. Be careful about messages that you're sending. Double check them. Make sure that what you're sending, you want to send. But also, it has a lot to do with other people wanting to redo their things, like websites wanting to redo theirs, banks wanting to redo their website. So sometimes we can go log into our accounts and find out everything's down, things aren't working. And usually it's a result of everybody thinking about ways to change and to make these changes because everybody's going back the same as we are. So it looks like a very active social month for you. There's going to be reviewing. There's going to be friends that are going to be coming back to you from the past. You might reach out to friends from the past. People are going to revisit situations. There's a lot of re's this month with Jupiter and Mercury going retrograde. And don't forget that this year we're going to have all the planets turn retrograde, including Venus and Mars, which don't happen but every 2.5 years. But those aren't happening till later in the month, so I'm going to stick with what's happening now, and keep you guys filled in on what's immediate. So there's going to be a lot of revisiting, a lot of stuff coming back. Career is going to be a focus. Friendships are going to be a focus. A lot of changes are going to go on in there. A lot of expansion is going to go on in there. A lot of good times ahead. So yeah, it looks like an excellent month for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do check back for April's 2018 forecast because there's a lot going on there too. If you found me on YouTube, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to get all my future posts. I'm going to be uploading quite a bit, a lot of new stuff about synastry, about astrology, about everything, including the horoscopes. So do subscribe to get updates on when I do those. And you can also visit my website if you'd like your own personal astrological forecast or relationship forecast or anything like that. Also, just to read about all the interpretations of aspects, placements, and stuff like that, I have a full website with all that stuff, and it's at www.illumastrology.blogspot.com. All right, so this wraps it up. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure, and I will talk to you all soon.